Jeeps, and square-bodied style pickup trucks. It's happening at 1368 Mall Run Road in Uniontown by the Flag. A portion of the proceeds and donations will benefit Callan Butler Medical Fund and Hillman Cancer Center. Registration is $15 a vehicle, and dash plaques and t-shirts will be given to the first 100 registered. There will be food, a Chinese auction, and a 50-50, plus oldies music provided by WMBS DJ Arnie Amber. And on top of that, Josh Krysak will join him for a live WMBS broadcast from noon to 2. It's the 4th annual Legends Car Show and Hog Roast, Saturday, August 23rd. For more info, call Buddy, 724-434-4440. It's one show you don't want to miss.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Chris Parker Jr., hard to believe the 25-26 school year is here.
Easy for us to believe. 25 and 26 Hyundais are here. So is the Hyundai Getaway sales event. Get away with 0% financing for 60 months on the full-size luxury third row 2025 Palisade, redesigned third row 2025 Santa Fe and Santa Fe Hybrid, or up to $2,750 HMS bonus cash on Palisade and up to $3,500 HMS bonus cash on Santa Fe. And your first payment is not due for 90 days.
I hear you. What about selection?
We still have a great selection of new 25s, so we're lowering prices and offering above Blue Book value for your trade. Plus 0% financing for 60 months on the 25 Palisade, 25 Santa Fe, and Santa Fe Hybrid. And first payment not due for 90 days.
Plus Hyundai Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection with every new Hyundai purchased, and 3-year, 36,000-mile free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at AutolandHyundai.com.
And remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
Concerned about your heart health? At WVU Medicine, we believe your heart deserves world-class care, close to home and always within reach. Our non-invasive cardiology team uses advanced tests like stress tests and cardiac MRI to diagnose and monitor heart conditions without surgery. Call 877-WVU, the number 4HRT, or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
Ready to update your home? Find what you need at Zen's Construction Warehouse. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will be happy to help you the old-fashioned way. Zen's is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2. 485 Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Zen's Construction Warehouse, 724-366-8274. Or visit Zen's Construction Warehouse's Facebook page.
Zen's Construction Warehouse, our surplus, your savings.
I'll tell you what, Fayette County, it's our time to stand up and take back our county and our country. The establishment elite, the career politicians, the swamp creatures in both parties, they have spent decades selling us out, making deals that benefit themselves and their donors, while the hardworking people of Fayette County and across America get left behind. They tell us to sit down, shut up, let them run things. They tell us, trust the system, but the system ain't working for us. It's working against us. Well, I've got news for them. We're not backing down. We're just getting started. We are the steel workers, the coal miners, the farmers, the small business owners, the first responders, and the families who built this nation with our bare hands. We work, we build, we sacrifice, and we don't need government bureaucrats telling us how to live our lives. They want more taxes. They want more regulations. They want more control. But we say no more. They want us divided, black against white, rich against poor, rural against urban. But we see through their lies. This movement, the MAGA movement, is all about us coming together as Americans. We believe in freedom over control. We believe in fair elections over corruption. We believe in jobs over handouts. We believe in family, faith, and country. And let me tell you, I ain't here to play politics. I'm here to fight for you. That's why I'm running for re-election as your recorder of deeds. Not to be another politician, but to be a watchdog against corruption, to protect your property rights, and to make sure the government is transparent and accountable. And I promise you this, after I win the recorder of deeds, I'm not stopping there. These establishment politicians have been bleeding you dry, raising taxes, playing political games with your money for far too long. I'm going to put an end to that. They'll try to smear us, silence us, call us every name in the book, but they will never break our spirit. We are MAGA strong, America first, and unstoppable. So Fayette County, are you ready to take back your government? Are you ready to send a message to the swamp that we the people are in charge? Are you ready to stand up, fight back, and win? Then let's get to work. Tell your neighbors, because the Hillbilly MAGA train is leaving the station and we're taking our country and our county back. Full speed ahead. God bless Fayette County. God bless Pennsylvania. And God bless the United States of America. And God bless President Donald J. Trump. I am John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of John Marietta and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Fayette County Recorder of Deeds Office or Fayette County government. This program is privately produced and funded, and no county resources are used for its production or promotion.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was trucking up the highway, minding my own lane, with some dude in a Prius went and flipped me off. Guess my redneck hit him wrong. Seems like everyone these days is a ticking time bomb full of hate for folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change. And it gets me thinking, leave this long-haired country boy alone. And I start singing along to that line in the song, Sweet Home Alabama.
Hey everybody, this is John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly. And today's show is being brought to you by Miles' Garage and Terrace Center, Mung's Auto Body, ACS Roofing, Fayette County Recovery Storage and U-Haul, Country Motor Sales, Gunslingers in Connellsville, JB Market in Dunbar, Tactical Civics, Thundering Hills Feed and Supply, The Ink Spot, Fayette County Mega Patriots Group, Solid Foundation Ministry, Highline Motorsports, Gun Owners of America, Hillbilly Jon Radio, John Marietta for We the People, Hillbilly's Grub and Pub, Donegal, and Premier Auto Glass. I want to thank all them people, and if you want to get, I'll give you the number for Premier Auto Glass, 724-557-9288, and I'll tell you what, they come put that window in, and it's in and it's done and forgot about. But anyways, I want to start out with this today. It's Exodus 18:21. But select capable men from all the people, men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and appoint them as officials over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Folks, I'll tell you what, America's been through the ringer these past few years. We've had chaos at the border, runaway inflation, crime out of control, and a government that looks more like a Vegas slot machine than a serious institution. But since January 20th, when the President, Donald J. Trump was sworn in for his second term, actually it was starting his third term really, but we've started to see the tide turn, and you better believe people are noticing. Look at the wins already stacking up. The border wall construction is back in full swing, and illegal crossings are dropping faster than the establishment wants you to admit. Energy independence coming back strong. Trump ripped the handcuffs off our oil, gas, and coal industries. That means cheaper prices for hardworking families and no more OPEC for a handout. Yeah, we're not going to beg them no more. We're going to produce our own energy. The economy is starting to breathe again. Businesses aren't waking up every day terrified of new red tape. Taxes are steady. Inflation is finally cooling off, and people are getting back to work instead of giving up hope. And let's not forget, our enemies overseas are paying attention. Whether it's Beijing, Moscow, or Tehran, they all know America's got its backbone again because Trump doesn't play footsie with the dictators. But while President Trump is working to fix this country, right here in Fayette County, our commissioners are sipping brandy and smoking cigars like robber barons, raising your taxes 78.2% since 2019 and running the county debt up over $82 million. Folks, you can see the numbers yourself at johnmarietta.com. That's not leadership. That's plundering the people while patting themselves on the back. Now, do we still have problems? Absolutely. The debt's out of control. The swamp is still slimy, and Congress is still full of folks who couldn't balance a checkbook if their life depended on it. But here's the difference. Finally, we've got someone in the White House who's fighting for the forgotten men and women, not the lobbyists and not the bureaucrats. Bottom line, folks, President Trump's second term is already proving what we knew all along. Leadership matters, results matter, and putting America first absolutely works. So today on the show, we're going to break it down. Where we've won, where the fight's headed, and how we the people, and I'll say it again, and how we the people can keep pushing this America first revival forward. It's been a busy weekend, and I tell you, I was at Hiller at the hog roast on Saturday afternoon. Nick Polito was there singing while I was there. I want to thank all of them guys from the Hiller Fire Department for inviting me out there. We finished up the fair at Bullskin, and I tell you what, the overwhelming, and I mean it, it was overwhelming, the hospitality that the people of Bullskin Township came to me, talked to me about how we can clean up hopefully we can clean up the county. And I had even a few surprise visits from some people that I didn't think was coming my way, but it looks that way. I want to thank everybody for everything, and I want to thank all the ladies out of Bullskin Township. If you get a chance to go there next year, please take time. It's a really nice place. But anyways, we're going to get on to business at hand today. I have Chris Marola with me. Chris, are you there?
I'm here, John.
Okay. Hopefully we can hear each other pretty well. We good?
I think so.
Okay. So, I was talking to Chris, I guess this morning for a few minutes, and there's some things that people we wanted to bring out in this show about how things are starting to change in the country. And Chris, where do you want to start at?
Well, yeah, the Italian premier, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, has already said publicly that since Trump was elected, things are already beginning to change. We're less than 7 months from his inauguration. We're getting close to 7 months, but within a just under 7 month period, things are turning around. The economy's turning around. Inflation's down to about 2%. Things are starting to turn around. He's bringing money from overseas. We're talking trillions of dollars, trillions with a T, of investments from companies and countries all over the world into the United States. And this economy is going to really start soaring starting sometime next year. If we can only get interest rates down, it would really help as well. But what I wanted to address, since we're talking about Trump and his success, is let's look at what he's doing just with the border, John. The Trump administration, when you're looking at illegal immigration and border security, the Trump administration has removed 275,000 illegal immigrants from the Social Security, I guess you'd call it,
Rolls?
recipient list. Yeah, recipient list is another way of saying it. So 275,000 illegal immigrants are no longer receiving illegally Social Security. So do you remember when the Democrats were saying there's no such thing as illegal immigrants receiving Social Security? Do you remember that?
I do.
Well, here we have evidence, 275,000. That's more than 250,000. On top of that, there's another 12.4 million people receiving Social Security who are 120 years or older. And we know that's a statistical impossibility.
Wait a minute,
So
Chris.
what I want to know is...
You have to back up. Give me that number one more time. That's unbelievable.
Sure. Yes, 12.4 million people aged 120 years old or older have been receiving Social Security, and Trump removed them also from the Social Security rolls or from receiving benefits. So just imagine how much money we're losing when 12.4 million people who aren't even alive are receiving benefits. It means someone is faking the name of someone who's already passed away, who's too old to receive benefits. I have to wonder how many of them are illegal immigrants.
Wonder how many.
Oh,
wonder how many.
Absolutely.
How many of them people voted?
Well, here's what I'd like to know. See, all they have to do is steal a Social Security number of someone who's passed away. If you get a hold of a Social Security number of someone who's already dead or already passed away, and you can continue to receive benefits, what that means is you have 12.4 million people getting Social Security. How many of them are illegal immigrants who simply stole the Social Security numbers of these people who passed away? So this is disastrous that we're having this kind of this rate of theft just at Social Security. That doesn't count Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, welfare benefits, the ACA benefits, or otherwise known as Obamacare. I mean, there's so many. I think there's like 15 to 16 different welfare programs out there within the federal government. These entitlements, they're supposed to be for underprivileged Americans. If you see these numbers just in Social Security theft, you have to think it's across the board as well. I mean, if you can steal a Social Security number and get Social Security checks illegally, they're not going to stop at only one program. They're going to keep working on Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, welfare checks. They're going to keep, working on all kinds of healthcare benefits and S-chip for their children and so on. So it's no wonder we have a very massive debt, John.
Okay, so just in a few minutes that me and you've talked, you've identified 12.4 million people that are 120 years and older that have been receiving Social Security checks.
Correct.
And you're saying that there was 275,000 people that weren't even part of this country were receiving Social Security also.
Illegal immigrants. And I have to believe that a certain portion of the 12.4 million receiving illegally Social Security benefits were also illegal immigrants as well, because all you have to do is steal a Social Security number of an American who's already passed away, and you can just keep, milking the system dry. So it would be naive and gullible for us to believe that there's no illegal immigrants in that 12.4 million on top of the 275 million.
Okay, so we do know that, me and you spoke about this a while back, we do know that there's been a definite suppression, I guess that's the way to put it. The people against the Second Amendment wouldn't like that word, but anyways, of people coming across the border also in this 7 months.
Yeah, the numbers are in. And the Trump administration and their crackdowns on illegal immigrants have reduced the illegal immigrant population by 1.6 million. There are now 1.6 million less illegal immigrants in the United States. And that means there's 1.6 million less people stealing jobs, homes, rental properties, healthcare benefits, entitlements like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and S-chip and, healthcare, or what we normally call Obamacare, and so many others. also, that's less 1.6 million less chances of voter fraud as well.
Okay. Well, okay.
So,
go ahead. Keep going. I'll let you go.
Sure, it's no problem. Remember, this is the same Democrat Party that claims to believe in fairness. How is it fair to allow millions of illegal immigrants to steal jobs, homes, rental properties, endless slew of benefits and entitlements, and also steal our votes? How is that fair, John?
Well, there's nothing fair about it. I mean, we're working, we're paying taxes, and we're paying taxes at a rate that's unbelievable, anyways. Especially here in Fayette County, and now this is what's we have people using our tax money that shouldn't even be, that aren't even citizens. So it's real simple. We have to eliminate some of it. We have to eliminate all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another factor. People don't want to hear it, but they have to hear it. We have to understand the same illegal immigrants who have been doing the drug running are also engaged in human trafficking. If they can engage in drug trafficking, they're also engaging in human trafficking, bringing women and children and getting them involved in prostitution as young as 8 years old. This is confirmed fact. This has already been found when raiding some of the pot farms in California. The Trump administration found some illegal immigrant children who were unaccompanied. They had no parents with them. They were being worked as slave labor. Children, 8 years old, working in the field, slave labor. That's illegal. If you remember, we outlawed child labor about 100 years ago, and yet here we are having illegal immigrant children working in the fields illegally, and some of them were being sent into prostitution. This is confirmed. In fact, this just came out a few days ago. There was in Nebraska, of all places, there was a sex trafficking ring in Nebraska being run out of several hotels in the Nebraska area, in that city, in the state of Nebraska. Omaha is the city. Let me be more clear. In the area of Omaha, that's the city, and the state, Nebraska, there was a sex trafficking and labor trafficking ring filled with illegal aliens. 5 men, ages 32 to 42, were arrested for running that ring, and children were being involved in the sex trafficking. This is insanity. This is pure evil to do this to children. This is what happens when you have an open border. And remember, it was the Biden-Harris administration that just let the doors wide open and refused to enforce our laws. And they allowed somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 million illegal aliens, including drug traffickers and sex traffickers. Pretty sick stuff, John.
Yep. You're exactly right. I'll let you keep going. I mean, we can move on to another topic if you want to, if that's okay with you.
Let me just say this one last thing, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
The Biden-Harris administration lost 300,000 illegal immigrant children. They lost them. The Trump administration has already rescued 35,000 of them. That's more than 10% in only 7 months. But where are the rest? Where are the other 265,000 illegal immigrant children? Where did they go? How many of them are being used in slave labor and others being used in sex trafficking? So it's a problem that the Biden-Harris administration created by working through non-governmental organizations, many of them very left-wing organizations. They were working with the Biden administration to bring these children into our country without any parents or guardians, and they're lost. We don't even know where they're at. And again, some of them have been found working on slave labor camps in the fields, on farms, and others have been sex trafficked. And it was the Biden Harris administration that lost touch with 300,000 illegal immigrant children.
Well, it's hard to even make a comment about this. This is just sad. I mean, this is unbelievable. What the mess that we have to clean up right now.
Oh.
I mean, and it's this has went on for years. And years to some degree, but it escalated over the last 4 years. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. It all goes back to the 1960s, John. You can trace a lot of our problems back to Lyndon Johnson's administration. For instance, Lyndon Johnson and the Democrat Congress in 1967 raided the Social Security Trust Fund and took all of that money out of the trust fund and spent it on all kinds of programs, including the Vietnam War and everything else. So he really hurt us economically. He also created a lot of policies that we're still wrestling with. The liberal immigration policies began with LBJ. I think it was called the HART Act, H-A-R-T, that made immigration much more liberal and less, I guess you'd say, less accountability in immigration. That caused a lot of problems. He got us bogged down in Vietnam without a clear plan to win the war.
There's no doubt about it.
He left us with a lot of problems. I'm sorry?
There's no doubt about it. I mean, the Vietnam War was the only people that made out in the Vietnam War was corporate America. I mean,
yeah,
it was.
And here's the sad.
It was all set up. It was all set up for people to, and then we probably we could have ended all that in a couple of days if we really would have.
Yeah.
And we lost 56,000 boys over there, or men. I mean, they were boys.
Here's
they were
the
men.
sad commentary on that, John. The U.S. military won every major battle in Vietnam. We technically won the battles. We were not allowed to win the war because the Johnson administration wanted to keep it going. And here's the worst part about it. Do you remember the Tet Offensive?
I do. In fact, I knew somebody who was there.
Wow.
I knew somebody who was there. Yeah, go ahead.
It was the bloodiest war of the Vietnam conflict. Yeah, it was brutal. And kudos to your friend who was there. God bless him for coming back and enduring all of that tragedy and still being able to survive it and come home. The Tet Offensive was the worst battle, and it had the most casualties. But the Vietnamese, the communist government, lost twice as many casualties. They saw twice as many casualties lost than the U.S. So we won the battle. We just took a lot of casualties, but the Viet Cong, the communists, they lost twice as many as the U.S. But you know what Walter Cronkite did? He's supposed to be the most trusted man in the news. What a farce. Walter Cronkite went on the news and only reported the casualties of the U.S. He did not report the casualties of the Vietnamese and the communists. So he purposely made it appear that because of the high casualty rate in the Tet Offensive, the U.S. could not win the Vietnam War. And his disingenuous manner of reporting, which left out the whole picture, giving only half the picture, what Cronkite did is he turned the country against the Vietnam War and never told the people in America that even though there were large casualties during the Tet Offensive on the American side, the Viet Cong, the communists, lost twice as many. He never reported that. And so he gave a half-baked report in order to influence the minds and hearts of Americans against the Vietnam War and against our military.
Well, we can go there about how President Trump has changed the course across the world. I mean, with the way he's presented himself, with what he's been doing. How many wars have actually been like or in a ceasefire state or in a position now where there's going to be a negotiation since he just took office?
I think in 7 months he stopped 7 wars, and hopefully he's on the verge of stopping his 8th war, the one between Russia and Ukraine. So this man has negotiated the ceasefire and end of at least 7 wars in the world. Congo versus Rwanda was one of them, and others as well. So now we're hoping he can get it done with Ukraine and Russia.
I think that I think that he's on a path of and he's taken it as a position where we're the ones that are in charge. I mean, if you want to play, we're willing to play, but we're going to play by our rules now. We're not going to let you dictate to us what you want to do.
Right. And what I really do like is that because of his strong, fierce, spine of steel, even our enemies and our opponents fear us again. Nobody feared Joe Biden. Come on. It was like the movie Weekend at Bernie's. They propped up a man who was, incoherent and, practically comatose, and they faked it for 4 years, plus the 1 year of 2020 during the election. So the Democrats and the media for 5 years lied and made it sound like Joe Biden was competent and he knew what he was doing, and none of it was true. This is a man, Joe Biden, who belonged in a nursing home, not the White House. And they propped him up like that movie Weekend at Bernie's and made it appear like he was competent. And then, of course, when Kamala Harris stepped into onto the stage and tried to run, we saw that she was also not competent. I mean, the famous phrase surrounding Kamala Harris is word salad. I mean, she would constantly jumble her words, and she was also incoherent. You couldn't even understand what she was talking about. So this is what the Democrat Party has done, and now they have egg all over their face. They don't have any leadership, and, as the Bible says, you reap what you sow. Look what's happening in the Democrat-controlled cities. I think just about every single metropolitan city in America is run by Democrats and has been for decades. And now here's what's happening. They're in enormous amount of debt because they use taxpayer money to prop up and coddle illegal immigrants. And so now they have all this debt that they can't pay, so they're raising taxes on the American citizens in those cities to pay down the debt that never needed to be accrued had they not coddled and enabled illegal immigrants. And now these cities are even laying off American citizens who work for those cities, Department of Health and so on. So if you work for one of the metropolitan cities and you're an American and you've played by the rules and you've worked hard, you're getting fired so they can, compensate for the debt that they accrued by giving handouts to illegal immigrants. This is unfair and unjust in so many ways.
And I think we have to. We're not only looking at this. Our county's in the same situation. I mean, they've spent money that they didn't have, to buy things that were with legacy costs, and now we're in a position where we have to borrow money or we have to find money all the time in order to keep the county going. I mean, just take care of these things. Oh yeah. Yeah, last year they borrowed $15 million to keep the prop the county up. Just to keep, we didn't get no more services out of it. We haven't got nothing new out of it. But they borrowed $15 million. They floated a bond in order to keep the county, to keep the lights on, basically. And but it seems like this is. I'm not. It isn't just Fayette County either. I'm hearing it from all over the state. I'm hearing.
Sure.
I mean, and you're up north of us here, and I know that it's there's problems all over. I mean, it's just not Fayette County. So, but this is the kind of government that people we've let establish, and over years and years and years of, I want to say, apathy from the folks that we just didn't pay attention and we left them get away with it. But one of the things I do want to talk about is the inflation rate right now. I think that's very important. You came on and you said that inflation was down to almost 2%. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, it's hovering around the 2% number. It might be slightly more than 2%, but not by much.
Okay, so we know we're only 7 months into administration. Do you feel like the tariffs have helped this out? Do you or do you think? Okay, go ahead. I'll let you elaborate.
Sure. What Trump was doing with the tariffs is he was trying to bring business back to the U.S. because we have been hemorrhaging, the loss of money and business for decades, and it's mostly liberal policies that have pushed people overboard. In fact, you could say it this way, all right? Basically, you got to go back to the 70s to tell us, 60s and 70s, to get to where we're at and how we got to this location, John.
I understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
I understand exactly what you're saying. It was in the 70s that got us into this situation. It was actually, it started in 68, I believe.
It started in the 60s under LBJ. There was one really bad Republican named Nixon. He was not a conservative by any means. He was a liberal, big government Republican, and he hurt us as well. I think it was 1971, Richard Nixon took our dollar off of the gold standard. And the reason that hurt us is it caused massive inflation. Basically, our dollar was pegged to gold prior to 71, which meant we could print no more money than we had in gold reserves, and that controlled inflation. When you took us off the gold standard, now we can print as much money as we want. Nothing's backing it up, but that's what causes inflation. And so all the states, as you've said, and the counties think, hey, it doesn't matter how much money we spend, we'll just keep printing more money. But that makes the dollar and its value less. So, yeah, you can keep printing more money like the congressman from New York, AOC, said, let's just print more money. Every time you do, the value of that dollar shrinks. And so it's going to cost a lot more money to buy the same product because the dollar is not worth as much. So it started with Nixon, took off with Jimmy Carter. If you remember, Jimmy Carter wrecked the entire economy. Everything he touched in 4 years was destructive.
Well, I believe...
Very terrible president. Would you not agree?
Yeah, you're exactly right. He was a really good guy, but a terrible president. One of the things that I remember about Jimmy Carter being in office was that inflation was like at 18%.
He was in the 20% range as well.
Okay. Because
same range
you could buy
as under Biden.
You could get money. You could get money in a CD, and you could get it an interest rate of 15-16% at that time.
Which would be great for investing, but terrible for buying a house or a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Or student loans. So yeah, it was through the roof, and Reagan got the inflation down. It was Milton Friedman, who was the Nobel Prize winning economist, who said inflation is too much money chasing too few goods. So if you print too much, but you don't manufacture enough, you've got inflation. So now this ties together with what Trump is trying to do. He's using the tariffs to encourage companies to come back to the U.S. and bring that money, trillions of dollars, that have left the United States because of liberal, high tax, high regulation policies. So he's betting on the tariffs, telling these companies, look, I don't want to pay this high tax tariff for not making my product in the U.S. If I bring my company back to the U.S. and I manufacture it here in the U.S., I won't pay the tariff. And the reason that brings down inflation is, again, back to Milton Friedman, if you print too much money and don't manufacture enough of your goods, that's inflation. So the way to bring down inflation is to print less money and manufacture more of your own goods. So the tariffs that Trump is implementing are designed to take a stab at these corporations that have moved overseas and say, come back to our country, make your products here, and you won't have to pay the tariff.
Okay, one thing I was reading that I didn't realize this happened, and you're gonna Sarah Huckabee. It's Sarah Huckabee Sanders, of course, is the governor of Arkansas. I didn't know this, but I guess at the end of 23 or somewhere in there, she started taking land back in Arkansas that was owned by the Chinese Communist Party, and I didn't realize that. I got to read some more about this. I didn't know if you knew anything about that or not. I was going to ask you.
I had not heard that about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. However, under Biden, of course, China was able to do whatever they want, carte blanche. I mean, remember they sent balloons, spy balloons, over our country, and nothing was done about it. And, who knows what kinds of pictures they were taking. Those spy balloons went over our military bases and everything. And Biden did nothing. Well, Biden was out to lunch mentally, so that's why he did nothing. But the people who were pulling the strings of Joe Biden, they did nothing. So who knows what kind of military secrets and corporate secrets were stolen by China through that spy balloon? There's several of them, in fact. So this is what we're up against. We're being sold off piece by piece to China and other countries, primarily by the Democrat Party. And so basically, Trump is putting an end to that. He's restoring American greatness. It reminds me a lot of Reagan. When Ronald Reagan took office, he got inflation down. He restored manufacturing within the U.S., and the economy actually grew every single quarter for 8 years in a row. From 83 to 91, it grew every single quarter. It was the largest economic recovery since the end of World War II. And what caused it to take a little bit of a dip and not continue to grow was when George H. Bush was president. In order to get support for the Gulf War in 91, he cut a deal with the Democrat Congress to raise taxes, and that dropped the economy for about a year. It did finally come back around Labor Day of 92, but of course Clinton and Gore were running for president, and the media weren't going to tell you that the economy had come back, so they just kept making it appear as if the economy was terrible. But that does tell you something. When you raise taxes, you always hurt the economy, because if gasoline is the fuel that runs your car, okay, money is the fuel that runs our economy. And when you tax the people, you take money out of their pockets. And so there's less fuel running the economy. It's it's economy. It's economics 101. It's very simple. So let's look at what happened in the first 2 years of the Clinton and Gore administration. They were brutal. First, they promised a middle-class tax cut, and they gave us a middle-class tax increase. Total lie there. Then they tried to pass a tax on every unit of energy, a BTU tax.
I remember
it was
that.
so unpopular, even the Democrats in Congress couldn't pass it. They tried Hillary Care, which was the forerunner to Obamacare. They tried the taking over of the healthcare system by the government. The first 2 years of Clinton and Gore were terrible, and the result was the Republicans in 1994 won 54 seats in the Congress, and for the first time in 40 years, the U.S. House was under Republican control. So the Democrats do not have a good record on the economy. You have to go all the way back to JFK to find a Democrat who had a strong economic, record.
And back to something else. I believe that I believe we wouldn't have ended up in Vietnam the way we were with JFK either. I really believe.
There's no doubt about it. Our country would be a different country today if we had JFK. If JFK had continued and run for another term, he was not going to get us bogged down in Vietnam, even though our military performed well. and won every major battle, but was not allowed to win the war thanks to LBJ's administration. Yes, JFK would have not got us bogged down in Vietnam, and he would not have spent so much money on all those programs, and he also would not have raided the Social Security Trust Fund. LBJ and the Democrats took all the money out of the Social Security Trust Fund in 1967 with the Social Security Act of 1967. So what a big difference, this country, could have seen, had we had a JFK president instead of an LBJ president.
One of the last things we're going to be able to touch on, because we only got a couple minutes, believe it or not, that's how quick this went, is the energy. I just seen a post from somebody or an email from I guess Kentucky Coal is they're booming. West Virginia coal, same way, and maybe, hopefully, we can get maybe we can bring back some of the coal industry back in here into Pennsylvania, because that's one of the things that coal's what won World War II. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it made the steel, it made the coke, to make the steel that won the war. But we got to think about all these things, and I know that energy is a priority right now for President Trump. So, and it looks like we're going to start producing energy instead of begging OPEC for, which happened under the Biden administration. They were begging OPEC to release more oil.
Yeah, and it turns out the United States has a lot of oil, but also natural gas. There's more natural gas in the United States than just about anywhere in the world, if not anywhere in the world. So we have, from what I've heard, the United States is the Saudi Arabia of natural gas. We have natural gas under the ground that we can easily access. It's clean energy, okay? It doesn't pollute, and it's clean energy. We run city buses on it, school buses on it. We could even run cars on it, compressed natural gas if we really wanted to, CNG. So, yeah, we really need to get into developing more natural gas and other energy solutions, and it will also create jobs, too.
Well, Chris, it was great having you on. We're going to have you on again about something else that we talked about, and maybe in a couple of days, or maybe next week. I don't know. But one of the things I always appreciate you having on, because you always give a historical view of how things are, and if we don't look back at our history, then we can't go forward. So, anyways, I want to thank you for calling in, and we'll talk to you again.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, I got to close up. So, on this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad. Smile when you're sad. Love